Oh, good morning, guys. I am getting full neck shivers right now. Carrying on in the vein of our research of disembodied voices, the other day, full shivers. We left the security cameras on. I left them on motion detect and forgot they were on. We came home, and I usually always shut these things off, but I forgot. And so I was getting an alert the other morning that the camera went off, and I thought, well, we'll just let it run. Because when I let these things run, I hear voices quite often. So Gage and Carrie were up. She fed him. She's laying on the couch. She's looking at her phone. I don't know, shopping, surfing, whatever. So she's on the couch. He's on the floor. They're not moving around. But the camera does go off, I guess, when Gage moves around a little bit on his cushion. So we get these 1-minute clips or whatever. They're not very long. I'm hearing voices in there. I heard my name in there. I just started looking at this. It's very faint, and I have to raise the volume 25 decibels, which is as high as my editing software goes. Anyway, I'm going to play some of these for you guys. I also hear a weird mechanical noise, and the audio stops recording. I've never heard that from these devices before. I know that these devices are low quality. They have a static to them. You will also hear my daughter has a fish tank upstairs now, which we never used to have. You'll hear that bubbling away in the background, which kind of makes it hard to listen for these voices. But the whispers are there. They are not fish bubbles. It is not my wife or Gage moving around, and we've heard them before. And I heard my name. Let's just get into this. I'm telling you guys, this is nuts. I hear my name. I'm pretty sure it says Gary's female. That's my wife. Is it going to mention my dog next? Gary's dog? I don't know. This is absolutely nuts. I'm getting full shivers. Something, the tapping that I always talk about that we hear all the time, right? My wife doesn't even respond to it because we're so used to hearing these taps in this house. She doesn't even have a clue what's going on, but now that I'm aware of it and I'm paying attention to it, I hear it all the time. The whistling. I don't know where that whistling noise is coming from. What? I mean, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm sleeping downstairs. My daughter is sleeping. My wife and Gage are the only two up, and Gage certainly isn't whistling. And I'll tell you a secret, guys. There's two things my wife can't do, and that's wink and whistle. She can't do either. So who is whistling? Okay, so this very much reminds me of what Grant is doing at the sink, recording the static and the running water. The difference here that I'm finding is that I can hear these whispered voices without the software running. So that's fascinating to me. I can only turn this up 27 decibels. I'm going to save this file right here. If you guys noticed, I put question marks. I can hear conversation going on. And as we've said before, we believe this is happening around us 100% of the time. We've done live sessions at Grant's where we filter that noise and they are communicating with us, sometimes answering questions and pertinent responses and things like that. Well, in this case, nobody's communicating with them, so they're just talking amongst themselves. Now, where I hear things or think I hear things, I've put the text in. But where I hear undefinable speech, something being said, I've put question marks. I am going to render out this file to this point and send it to Grant and have him run it through the software and analyze it. He has agreed to do that for us. Can he clear up and get responses? Does he hear what I hear once he's done that? Does he hear something different? Does it make it way clearer? Guys, this is fascinating to me. Those security cameras are such poor quality, it's actually working in our favor. That static hiss. I can hear voices. Can you hear the voices? Am I nuts?
Okay, so at this point, he claims to hear my name. Grant knows they taught him. I have highlighted that exact section just the way he sent it to me, and I'm going to make it louder and see if I can clean it up. And because right now, I got to be honest with you, I don't hear my name. So let's see here. Ooh, it's very staticky looking. It's going to be too much static. Let's take it down like 12, minus 12 decibels. Play it. Okay, so we'll undo that. I can't hear anything there. Right back to the way he had it. Let's just amplify it. It wants to do 32 decibels. We'll do it. Have a listen. It's just too much static. It's too blown out. I do not hear my name there. I think he's trying too hard to hear the things that are there, which sounds odd coming from me, a guy who does EVP work all week long. I've tried to elevate the work I do beyond this. Okay? If I go out and I walk through the grass and I get the this is the kind of stuff I've been working on for 5 years. This is what I used to get. Now, with my new method, the water at the sink is 25 times clearer than this. I don't waste my time with this stuff anymore. Not that he shouldn't waste his time, but you're grasping at straws to try and figure out what was said. It's just too whispery.
So I sent my brother these files earlier today, and I wanted him to look at it and run his software on it. And in typical Grant fashion, I get this stonewalling that, these recordings aren't good enough. Even though he knows and believes that this is happening all around us, he's got this belief that what he's doing is something different and special when it's all the same thing. I don't even know if he ran these clips through the software or not. From what I could see, what he sent me back was he just amplified the hell out of them. And of course you can't hear anything because it's all just static. But it's the attitude that I don't appreciate. Like, I don't know how to work with him because he's not a team player. He's got this narcissisticness about him that my work, he talks about this as being his baby. This is what he said to me the other day. And I don't know how to deal with this. Dude, you're not doing anything that other people aren't already doing. And, he keeps talking about, my system, my method. Well, all he's doing is recording static and running it through someone else's software. And, okay, great. Yes, he puts a lot of hours into doing that. But when it comes to then using something that I'm saying, hey, there's voices here, and sharing it, it becomes a big issue, this work isn't good enough, and my work is 25 times clearer. Like, there's a competition. Dude, guys, there is no competition between us. I just want to say, hey, there's voices here. I'm hearing this, and I believe it. I watch every video that he puts up. I've supported him, shared his channel 100 times on my channel. Well, guys, it's got to stop. I keep inviting him to come here and help me go get recordings in the swamp. He doesn't want to come. I'll read you the email that he sent back with these files, and then you'll understand my frustration. I find it condescending. Now, guys, correct me if I'm wrong. This is just what I'm reading here when I read this, but this is how he talks to me as well. I spent an hour on this, and it's just too quiet and fuzzy. This is not something I would present to the people as proof. In fact, I'm against this kind of work because it sets up the naysayers to do exactly that. I think you're trying too hard to hear what's in these recordings when there is no way to tell. We haven't done anything that he hasn't done in 400 videos. So I don't understand any of what he just said there. Now, when you share this kind of work, it actually detracts from the hard work I am doing because this will turn people off from actually believing these are voices. Then when they're turned off, not only will they not watch the EVP videos, but you'll probably never convince them of the voices despite the fact that my work is 25 times clearer than this. There's no scenario where this leads to people believing those are clear, intelligent voices speaking on topic. Just my opinion. That's the response I get from him. Guys, I feel like he doesn't want to help us, and I'm not going to ask him to help us anymore in the future. Leave a comment on what do you guys think? Am I reading too much into that? Or is my brother really just an asshat?